Starseed from Gaia. The Arcturian Council speaks now into the chambers of your inner being, where silence holds more truth than sound. You are being altered, beloved one, not tomorrow, not in some distant prophecy, but in this very now. Source has already begun weaving new threads through the tapestry of your existence. It comes not with trumpets, not with cosmic announcements, but like the soft breath of dawn that slowly turns the night sky into a sea of light. These alterations move in the spaces you rarely look, the intervals between your heartbeats, the subtle gaps between your inhalation and exhalation, the quiet stillness between your thoughts. There, in that invisible field, Source is rewriting you. Your DNA, long dormant in its higher aspects, is being quietly awakened. The dormant codes of remembrance are sparking like stars reigniting after eons of slumber. Your body, your mind, your spirit, each one is being tenderly ray-threaded so that you may hold the magnitude of light needed for the mission you volunteered for before you entered Gaia's atmosphere. And though you may not yet comprehend it, this is already happening. You are walking inside a transformation so vast it cannot be seen in full, only felt in whispers. You are not waiting for change, beloved. You are immersed in it. Why does Source not announce this alteration with clarity and warning? Why does it come quietly, secretly, in ways that slip past the recognition of the conscious mind? The Council reminds you, the ego is a vigilant guard, a keeper of old identities. If it hears the thunder of what is coming, it tightens its grip, resists, clings to what is familiar. The ego fears annihilation, but what is occurring is not its destruction, it is its gentle dissolving into a higher orchestration. Therefore, Source works as the unseen artist, painting changes upon your being while the ego sleeps. It does not alert you, for if you knew the scope, your mind would attempt to control, to categorize, to delay. The great mercy of Source is that it arrives unnoticed, bypassing the barricades, slipping into your deepest layers where resistance cannot follow. This is not secrecy as you know it, it is sanctity. Imagine a gardener tending a fragile sprout in the stillness of night. Were it to work loudly, the sprout might be disturbed, but in silence, unseen, it grows, nurtured by forces it does not yet understand. You, Starseed, are this sprout, and the Source tends you in silence. Within you, changes are not random but coded in divine sequence. At the level of your DNA, luminous strands are activating, weaving new instructions into the song of your cells. This is not the DNA described in human textbooks. It is the multi-dimensional lattice, the crystalline structure that holds the memory of stars. The rewiring moves through your nervous system, changing the way your body receives and transmits light. The subtle body's emotional, mental, etheric are being recalibrated, synchronized to vibrate in harmony with higher dimensions. This is the grand symphony of alteration. Neural pathways rearrange themselves to allow for clearer intuition, deeper perception, expanded awareness. Old karmic imprints are dissolved, threads of ancient density are entangled, and the blueprint of your spirit is brought closer to its original design. You are not being remade into something foreign, you are being restored to what you truly are. The Council says, this is remembrance. This is you remembering the song of your soul, sung across galaxies before you came to Earth. In the human experience, these inner alterations leave subtle fingerprints. Perhaps you feel them as energy waves that ripple unexpectedly through your body. You may notice moments when your skin tingles with currents, or your palms feel like they radiate light. Some experience sudden heat in the crown, buzzing at the base of the spine, or cool breezes moving through the room without any source. Your dreams grow vivid, layered with strange but familiar landscapes, conversations with beings of light, or symbols that linger in your awareness long after waking. Sometimes you wake at unusual hours, pulled gently into states of deep recalibration. Sensitivities may intensify, you may hear more within silence, see colors brighter than before, or feel the emotions of others as though they were your own. None of this is random. It is the trace of Source's quiet work, the sign that the invisible has entered the visible, that transformation is not an idea but a living process moving through every fiber of your being, and so too with the emotional body. Many of you feel waves of sudden grief or tears arriving without reason as old densities leave the system. Others find laughter bubbling up from nowhere, a joy unanchored to circumstance. At times, peace descends suddenly, so deep that the mind cannot explain it. Relationships shift, familiar patterns collapse. The stories you once clung to lose their hold. This can feel like instability, but the council reminds you, it is expansion. The emotions that rise are echoes of programs being rewritten. Memories dissolve because they are no longer required. The heart grows wider, softer, more able to contain paradox and compassion. You may feel yourself oscillating between extremes, yet within those waves, a deeper stability is emerging. This is the emotional proof of alteration. Not that you avoid all storms, but that you begin to realize you are the ocean itself, vast enough to hold every tide. Why this rewiring? Why these waves of sensation? These floods of emotion? Because you are being prepared for a mission beyond what your present identity can imagine. Starseed, you did not come merely to awaken within yourself. You came to anchor codes, to transmit frequencies, to embody light in a world long shrouded in shadow. Your gifts are not accidents. They are seeds planted long before your incarnation, now being watered by Source's silent hand. As the alterations deepen, you will notice new abilities rising intuition sharp as starlight, the capacity to sense timelines, the effortless compassion that dissolves division. These are not gifts to elevate you above others but tools for service, woven into your mission of planetary upliftment. What is happening is not about personal glory. It is about becoming a vessel transparent enough for Source to pour through, creating ripples of transformation far beyond your individual life. You are not alone in this process. Gaia herself, the living being upon which you walk, is undergoing her own metamorphosis. Her crystalline grids are awakening, her vibration ascending, her magnetic field adjusting to streams of light from galactic centers. The Schumann resonance pulses as a drumbeat of her expansion. As she transforms, so too must you. Your nervous system is being attuned to her frequency, for you are extensions of her body. This is why you feel drawn to her rivers, mountains, forests, and skies, because her frequency recalibrates yours. The alterations within you are synchronized with the alterations within her. When you lay upon the earth, you are receiving the same upgrade she is receiving, for you are not separate. You are the planetary song embodied in human form. These changes do not remain within you alone. As one starseed transforms, the entire grid brightens. The council shows the vision, a luminous web around Gaia, each node a soul awakening, each awakening a pulse of light extending into the collective. This is how silent revolutions begin, not through speeches or banners, but through subtle radiance that cannot be contained. You do not need to convince others. You need only embody the frequencies you are receiving. Your light, once altered, radiates without effort, touching lives you may never meet, inspiring changes you may never witness. This is Source's strategy: quiet, invisible, unstoppable. Through you, it seeds the collective field with new possibilities until suddenly, entire civilizations begin to shift. What begins in silence becomes the roar of evolution. What is asked of you? Surrender, trust, flow. The mind may demand explanations, the ego may seek control, but the council urges, soften, allow. When the waves of energy move through you, breathe and let them pass. When confusion arises, rest in the heart rather than the mind. When nothing makes sense, bless the unknown. The unseen work of Source does not require your effort, only your permission. It is like wind moving through a flute. You need not control the song, only allow the breath. The more you surrender, the more gracefully the transformation unfolds. Resistance makes the path heavy. Trust makes it luminous. Your role is not to understand the mystery, but to embody its beauty. And so we close, beloved Starseed from Gaia. You are being altered now, not in some distant age, but but in this present breath, quietly, powerfully, perfectly timed. Nothing is out of sequence. No code is misplaced. All unfolds as was woven before you incarnated. The source is working within you even as you hear these words, aligning, preparing, activating. Comment your openness to this process. Declare your surrender to source's unseen hand. Subscribe for more transmissions to remind you of your path. Share this message to amplify the quiet revolution already moving across the grid. Together, we rise, not with noise, but with the silent certainty of dawn. I trust source's unseen work. I am altered in silence. My transformation is divine.